The final movie in the hopping mad vampire sequel set is Vampire v Vampire from 1989, and it sees Lam Ching-ying return as our famous vampire hunter. And this one, out of all the movies, took the longest to really settle into. It's probably the one I enjoyed the least out of all of them. Still a fun movie, but it takes a while in getting to the craziness, which I really loved. At the start of this one, we kind of see our character bumbling along, fighting various evils, discovering a Christian church that seems to be haunted in some way, creating a kind of backstory as to figure out that there was vampires previously that a couple of priests defeated and destroyed. We have this influx of bats that are causing all kinds of problems with the local environment, but also because they have a nefarious purpose as well. And we kind of follow our monk as he just kind of investigates what's going on. We have corruption, which is going to cause the main issue of the film. We have a guy who's leading an army who, one, just wants to kill all the nuns at this kind of convent church, simply because they're just annoying him. No reason for that. They need to dig a new well because the bats have poisoned their water supply, but of course the bats have led them to a place to dig up water where an actual vampire has been buried alive. And when they dig up this vampire, the body's decimated. It has a sword through it with a big ruby at the end of it, and they don't really know what to make of this. The monk knows that this has to be destroyed immediately, but of course the greed in the soldier wants the ruby on the sword, and he's going to do whatever he can to get it, and that involves reanimating the vampire and causing carnage. The only problem I have with this one is it takes so long to get to that vampire being released that you've spent 2/3 of the movie with some bumbling characters and with some bumbling humour that never quite worked for me. I enjoyed seeing Lam Ching-ying back again, but that weighs off pretty quickly when you're kind of forced with a story that feels as if it's not quite on sure footing, as if it's trying to get to a point, but it takes these little detours that don't add anything to the actual film. When you get to the finale, the last half hour, the movie ramps up exponentially. There's a notable gear change as we go from almost languid pace into a ferocious finale that is prolonged, that is exciting, that is just jaw-dropping in the way it continues its effects and stories. Again, we get a vampire here who feels dangerous, who attacks and kills people, who you worry about our heroes and how they're going to fight back, how some of the magic works for a little while and doesn't work. The fight sequence that goes from the church into the forest, into quicksand, into various elements was absolutely phenomenal and the key to this film. If that sequence wasn't as enjoyable as and wonderful, I don't know if this is something that I would really go back to much. Out of the vampire movies, it feels the one that's the most pandering. It tries to throw back to the original kind of vampire movies. It takes its time, it has too many detours and too many character sidelines that don't really drive the narrative or the plot forward as quick enough as I wanted. And that delayed action of the vampire, although there's some other ghostly spirits in amongst it, it just takes so long in getting there. But wow, what a finale, what an absolutely terrific ending to this film that really left me feeling as if it was worthwhile sitting through to get to that. I enjoyed Vampire versus Vampire, but it's not my favourite of this set thus far. Still good, a great set, 4 movies that I would all say yes, you want to check out. If you enjoyed the first Mr. Vampire, you're going to love these. It's a no-brainer really. I'd love to know your thoughts on Vampire versus Vampire, if you've seen it, whether you enjoyed it, whether you didn't, whether you feel somewhere in the middle. Did you have the same issues I had, or did you really enjoy it, tell me why. I want to know your reasons, so let me know in the comment box below. And while you're down there, hit the thumbs up because it really helps these videos. There's more content up here where you can see more of my stuff if you're interested. In the description box below, there are links to the Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.